Ladies and gentlemen, boys over 21 and girls over 21, tonight we bring you Pappy Van Winkle 15 years. Well, tonight is not your ordinary night on Whiskey Bible. It is a very special night. So, we once got to try this fabulous bottle from that sample set. Remember, Tony gives a bunch of 1 ounce samples, and we both split 1 ounce, so we both had a half ounce in our glass.
Yeah.
And that was back when we were just young whisketarians. And
now we're gonna do half a bottle each.
But yeah, here we are. We're probably not going to each drink half this bottle. We're probably going to enjoy maybe 1 ounce or so of this delicious nectar.
It's like twice as much as last time.
It is! So, you want to see a bottle go from $1,600 to $0?
Oh, it's going to be hard to watch, but yes, I do.
All right, let's do it up. Here it is. This is a 2022 Pappy Van Winkle 15 year. I was actually very lucky, and right above me right here, I got a 2023. That'll be in a future video. Here we go. Going from a lot of money to zero. Oh, God. There it goes. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. His head has been removed. Well, that was just his hat. We're about to remove his head right now. But, yeah. There's an open bottle of Pappy 15 year on our set right now. How crazy is that? Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready? I'm fucking ready. Maybe I'm not ready. Are you ready?
You need to put your back into it.
I'm trying.
I'm ready. Nice.
Wow. Holy hell. He just starts pouring out on the floor. He's like, actually, I fucking hate you. So, there it is. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Well, should we drink some?
Hell yeah.
I think we should drink some. And I'll even give you the first pour.
So special.
How's that? Are you happy with that?
It's a generous ounce.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting about this for us in particular is, like we said, pretty early on in trying whiskey,
I'm having trouble.
we got to try this. We got to try a sample of the Pappy 15 year. And, of course, at the time, I think we both said that is the best whiskey I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I don't think I've actually had any since then. I think Luke managed to have at least one, if not more than that. But I think it'll be interesting now, especially I feel like lately we've had so many crazy bottles on the channel. It'll be interesting with all that more experience whether this is still the best whiskey. And I mean, it's definitely going to be up there, right?
Oh.
People don't talk about this for no reason.
It is what it is. It's Pappy
whiskey.
Van Winkle 15 year. So, hold on a minute. I gotta check myself here.
The bottle does say 15.
Okay.
Oh, were you worried you'd give yourself?
Yeah,
and
I had to make sure we were even here. So, right now, Frank, and you can or you cannot keep this in, but no one believes me that I'm opening this Pappy 15 year right now. So, I'm just gonna take a quick aside. You see that smoke come out of there? That's badass. There it is. I'm just gonna go like this. Pardon.
An artist at work.
Yep.
Should have had the flash on for that one.
I kind of like how it dimmed it out with the lights came through on Whiskey Bible and all
yeah,
that.
That works nice.
Looks pretty cool. So. But yeah,
What the heck?
I'll tell you what, I could just nose it all the way from
Rubbing
here.
it in my face.
Let's get a nose. That's how I remember it smelling. It is you almost makes you want to cry. Just so rich. It's like the biggest, like, oaky caramel bomb I can ever imagine. Like a cigar tobacco note.
I like when whiskey has the oak note, and it's like a finely milled piece of wood and not like a log that's been sitting in
Mud.
poop and mud.
Yeah.
Some oak is like a wet, musty oak. But this is like a rich, like
Yummy oak.
yeah.
Are you getting that like dark fruit too?
Yes.
Is that a cherry? Is that cherry? Or what kind of fruit is that?
I wouldn't say cherry.
Almost a little appley.
I was gonna say maybe like a pear.
Pear. I could see pear. A fruit bearing tree.
You know, the funny thing is, I make fun of the people who write the notes on the back of whiskey bottles all the time, because they're always like, you know, a hint of sassafras and like all random. You've read them before. We are so much worse on this channel.
Way worse.
We're just like, it smells kind of like, you know, when you take your grandpa to the doctor's office and
Yep. And you
they had those little candies there.
No, the tissue boxes.
Yeah.
Stick your nose in the tissue boxes.
You know you can take the tissues out.
It's true. What if you really have a full nose though, and you really want
Just
to?
gotta use the whole box.
You don't want to rip the
tissue.
tissue. Ever blow your nose in tissue and the tissue rips and that's in your hands? That sucks. Yeah, the nose is. I'm really getting that oaky leather note in there. Like you could. It's like.
The oak is the first thing to hit you.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of after it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first sip of the night. And tonight we're drinking Pappy 15 year. Let's do it.
Man, that finish.
I'm a happy man. Dude, that finish is nuts. Your eyes are watering.
There's like so many different things on that finish.
Still.
If my eyes are watering, I mean, the proof is there on the swallow. Usually, it hits me a lot more for.
It's just a flavor.
Stuff, but it's
I'm the same way. I'm just like, it's like wow.
Yeah, there wasn't actually a lot of burn for that one.
Wow.
Lately, I feel like when we make the videos, there's a bit more burn. Like anything, like 107 would normally be a little, would get me on the first sip, but this didn't really.
Holy shit. So much oak too, but the oak is like, there's oak, but it's like level oak. It's not like kill oak. Like Knob Creek 18 is like crazy oak. This is just like so like perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
It's the word I was looking for. Stay in school.
There's a couple whiskeys that I've described this way. I think this was the first I ever had that I described it this way. It's not so much that Pappy 15 has like big bold flavors, but that it has such a variety of flavors you wouldn't think would ever work together, and yet they're all at the perfect level, the perfect strength, the perfect timing. Somehow it just all comes together for a really great experience, almost. Like a great taste isn't even quite enough, because it's always changing from the moment it hits your tongue to the finish afterwards as it sort of fades off. It's just evolving.
And it's funny, it's like so, it's almost like the main palate is just like so like creamy, you don't even like really get it until after you actually swallow the whiskey, and then it just becomes the most delicious, like chewable, like you feel like you could chew it in your mouth. It's just like so freaking complex. It's just it's crazy. Like that finish like is just is just nuts.
It's just as different things popping in and out for a moment.
Yeah. Vanilla. Oh, it's gone. Ooh, pear. Ooh, it's gone. Ooh, wood. Ooh, oak. Ooh, leather.
Yeah, and all that's going down, and then like I get like a bit of like a chocolate thing come through. It's like, oh, that's interesting, and that fades away into more of a smoke, and then this kind of fruity, banana comes out, and that goes, and then I get a bit of like a cherry, and I mean, there's a lot there, right? As opposed to like me, I always like a big vanilla hit, but there's something really nice about getting like 20 different flavors cycling through on a finish. It's like, how does that even happen?
Wait,
Something happened.
there's just something about, especially really good whiskeys, the second nose is always like 1,000 times better after, the senses are so intertwined. The second nose is so much better after the first sip. And right now you're going to experience that because I just did. And it is just truly, your brain basically just melts. It's like insane.
It is weird how there's something about tasting it that like it's the key to the lock of all the flavors that you can get on the nose.
It's almost like if like say you have bad allergies or sinuses, right? And you use the nasal spray, and after you use it, you're like, oh, I can breathe again. Once you take a sip of whiskey, you really can wow. Holy cow. Oh, I get so much caramel off this. Like, the caramel butterscotch note is just huge on this. Can you believe this used to sit on the shelves and no one would buy it? Tony put it on clearance at one point because nobody would buy it. Clearance for like $42.99. And still nobody would buy it. It would sit there and collect dust. If only we were back then and we bought up the by the case, right?
Don't we all wish?
Like I did with the Knob Creek 12 year over there. One interesting thing, I'm going to let that soak for a little bit. I'm very big on the visual appeal of the bottle. A lot of people might not know what the back of the bottle looks like, right? You always see the front of the bottle. You never see the back. You always see Pappy Van Winkle smoking a cigar, but that's the back. I don't know if you'll be able to read it.
Probably won't be able. You can probably Google it. I bet that somebody's got it out there.
Yeah, but there he is, Mr. Julian or Julian II, whoever it is, but... I have had the pleasure of trying all the Pappy Van Winkles through Pappy dinners with local, liquor stores and stuff. And I think you can see my point now where I always say that the 20 year and the 23 year are it just becomes too much oak for me. You see how this is like, I don't know if I'd want to go much higher than this. This is like utopia for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can once you try the other ones, still, if Pappy 20 or 23, I could buy it. Of course, I would still buy it to have it up here, but I'd rather have these over that. It's second sip time. I could still taste it on my tongue. My tongue is
It's there a little, yeah.
There we go. Look, I'm running low. I might need a refill. Cheers.
That one I got a bit more of the... how you said you get a lot more flavor after you've swallowed, right? On the actual palate, there's some flavor, but then you swallow and you let that air in.
That's what she said.
Oh, he got me.
Sorry, I ruined your whole thing. You can read.
No, it's okay.
There is a reason why there's a cult following for this whiskey.
Yeah.
Right, and this is they say the older batches, when it was actually Stitzel Weller, because I don't think this is Stitzel Weller. I could be wrong. Comment below if I'm wrong. But the older batches drive so much more money because they're the original Pappy juice.
Yeah.
How different? I mean, this is freaking fan. I'm happy with this. I don't need anything else.
I know.
but look at the glass too. It's rare to get a whiskey that leaves stuff on the glass. You see that right? Drives it's just I don't know. It's the complexity is leaving its mark. It's like Pappy's ghost is hanging on by his balls. It's like Pappy's ghost is just hanging on. He doesn't want to go.
Hanging on by his balls.
We never have to make another video again.
I know. What is it?
Where do we go from here?
This? Please, loyal viewers, send us more BTAC bottles. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Send it.
Well,
whiskey,
sure, yeah.
WhiskeyBibleLF@gmail.com. Shoot us an email and we'll swap sample for sample. You want something back here?
That could work. Yeah.
Well, might be time to put them to bed,
Yeah,
Frank.
finish them all.
Yeah, because we got
Nighttime.
nightcap here. Whoa! Oh my God! I spilled some. It's okay. Cheers. Mm.
As always, the last sip is the nicest.
Yep. You always want more. That is.
The thing with this, what's interesting to me.
Mm.
Normally, I think, wow, I'd like to have some more of that. But we do a couple videos. We got another bottle to try. Even in this one, we got another bottle to try. I actually feel very satisfied with that glass of whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't. It's very good. But I don't feel the need to drink any more tonight.
It was just so rich and so complex that it just.
I would almost feel bad. I've had the glass. Now that it's in my memory, I almost feel like it would be a waste to have any more.
Yeah.
Like,
because you tasted it already. You still have it on your palate. Because I know still have it on my palate right now. I can still taste it. Jesus. But yeah, I totally agree with Frank. You know, it's like this is not something that you're going to sit down and have a Bartle pour, you know, and pour a glass up to here.
There's some things I'd like to have, 2 or 3 glasses of even in a row. That they're really good and I don't mind. This is like, no, that's enough. That is so much flavor. To have any more, you really need to save it.
Interesting note I just picked up. I don't know if you'll know what the taste is, but like really on that back end of the finish, I get almost like an Earl Grey black tea. Like an unsweetened tea.
Just not a tea guy.
Yeah.
Never had tea.
Like unsweetened tea, like Earl Grey breakfast tea. That's what I'm getting at. It's delicious. But yeah, I mean, do we even need to rate this 10 out of 10?
Yeah, everybody knows. That's
Absolutely.
not the important part. I think what's interesting is we want to compare him to his little brother, right?
Who's that?
The Pappy 12 here.
Oh, sure. Let's do it. Mr. Van Winkle Special Reserve Lot B. Have a lot of bees fly across the screen right there.
Okay.
I'll grab it. I know where it is. We will now put Mr. Pappy 15 year away. We'll put him over here. And we will now drink Lot B. Should we rinse our glass?
I prefer to, but...
Let's rinse our glass. Van Winkle Lot B. I'll let you pour this bottle, because technically it's your bottle because you won it.
Yeah, well, we split the price.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I don't think it's going to beat the
15?
The 15.
You don't think so?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Especially that's been open for like 2 years. Okay. Nose is very different. Definitely not getting as much oak. And almost like you said on the beginning with that one, like a pear. But this one's like a very like ripe and tart pear. Are you getting like that?
I get a little bit more of that sour.
That sour tart note.
I still get vanilla and butterscotch, and they are actually pretty similar. But it's kind of like you were saying, right? The 20 and 23 year you felt had too much oak.
Yeah.
This, I mean, just from the nose, it feels like maybe a couple more years in the barrel would have been nice.
Yeah. You know, I could see how people would really like this bottle. It is. I almost find it actually a little. It's not as complex, but I find it a little sweeter than that.
Definitely sweeter. Very much more vanilla. Much smoother as well.
Yep.
This is a lot more approachable to beginner, yeah, or just anyone, right? Like I always feel like this is a bourbon that if you sat somebody down and they said, "Oh, I don't like whiskey," and you gave them this, they would be like, "Wow, okay, where has this been all my life?" Of course, it's in in an allocated case in a liquor store for $800, but
Yeah. And that's on a good day.
yeah, that's the unfortunate part of giving a beginner this. There are other ones, of course.
You don't want to start at the top of the food chain. You want to
No.
work your way up there because
Yeah.
even, and I'm sure you can attest to this now that you have like a good collection of your own. Once you start drinking these bottles, it's very hard to keep drinking those bottles down there. You know, like you're always like, well, I want to have the good stuff.
I
you
know. I think for me, the sum up of Pappy 12 versus Pappy 15 is Pappy 15 is an amazing, complex bourbon that is worth the hype. And anybody who likes whiskey, you're gonna like it, duh.
Yeah.
Pappy 12, if you can get it for like under 400, like an insane price. It is when we reviewed Travelers, we said this is okay. It's a little light. It's probably better for beginner drinkers. It is good enough for beginner drinkers, but it's still enjoyable for somebody who drinks a lot of whiskey. And I think worth under 400 if you can get it for that. I personally wouldn't pay $1,000 for the Pappy 12. No. But, you know, some people, you need a collection, you got the whole thing, whatever. All right. What do you have any other thoughts, or do you want to wait till the surprise?
I want to wait for the surprise.
Okay.
So we went from Pappy 15 year, which was moderately oaked, to Pappy 12 year that had a little bit of oak. What if we had something that was crazily oaked? Something that was over 20 years old.
Wow.
Would that be crazy or what?
That would be crazy.
That would be nuts, right? If I just pulled out a Pappy 23 year right now. I'm not. I don't have a Pappy 23 year. I was totally messing with people.
That'd be crazy.
Right? I had him for a minute. No, real quick, real fast, off the record here. I want to try a little Weller 12 year.
Oh, okay.
Right? We had a Pappy products. This is the same mash bill as Pappy. Let's just a little bit. I'm not even talking like
a sip.
A sip. Just to see.
That's 2 sips.
Sorry.
Hey. More for me.
What we think of a Weller product versus a Pappy product.
Now, in theory, the difference here, what proof do they take Weller 12 to?
90?
90, yeah.
90. 90.4?
I don't know. It went out of my brain. This one's 90.4.
Yep. And this is 90, and that's 107. But
so a 0.4 proof points.
Yep. And all this.
And I guess whoever tastes it and decides this is Pappy and this is Weller 12.
Yeah. But maybe this one got missed, right? Maybe he didn't taste this barrel, and this happens to be Pappy. You know, the difference is $180 secondary versus $1,000 secondary. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see what the difference really is. Gary says we like to cheers. We do. There definitely is a difference. But it's... I would say this is creamier and, like, the finish. I'd say the finish on that is longer than this one.
Yeah.
Right? The finish is longer than that. And this is like... I mean, it's close, okay? It is close. I do think that's better. This is just a little bit more, I would just say not as complex. You know, you get that initial burst of like vanilla sweetness, and then it's gone.
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
really get anything other than the vanilla.
Yeah.
Well, I already kind of talked about it a little bit, but do you have any closing remarks on the 12 versus a 15 versus Pappy in general?
I think 15 is better than 12.
Yeah. Probably.
No.
I mean, if you don't have anything to say, you don't have to add anything. I just figured I'd give you the chance.
It's amazing what 3 years can do.
Yeah.
Right? 3 years seems like a lot of time, but is it really a lot of time? And just 3 years in a barrel, just really like, it's crazy. And also, I think the proof helps a lot. Like, if that was 107 proof, we might have a different story.
Yeah.
You know, but they watered down that a lot more, and I think that's what took away a lot of the complexity. is just watering it down, right? Because obviously the higher proof of whiskey, the more complex it's going to be. I'm Luke.
I'm Frank.
Thank you for joining in on this very special episode of Whiskey Bible, where we got to enjoy 2 fabulous bottles, including one impeccably incredible bottle from Buffalo Trace, Pappy Van Winkle 15-year and Van Winkle 12-year Lot B. As always, remember, stay in school.